Oh, all right. Are you trying to figure out, do I use Fabric, Analysis Services, or SSAS? Which one do you choose? Why are you picking them? Why might you even go with SSAS over the others? Or why would you go with any of those? Well, in this video, we are going to dive deep into that and explain why you might pick one of these solutions or the other. All right? Oh, can't wait for it. Then get into this. So we're talking about SSAS versus AAS versus Fabric. What are we even talking about here, right? So what's the difference? Well, all of these are means of providing you access to the tabular engine, where you're going to manage this code that's inside your tabular engine. You can do that in analysis services out in SQL. Heck, you could do it with Power Pivot inside of Excel. You could do it in Power BI Desktop, or you could deploy a model into Power BI, or more specifically, you could deploy a model into Fabric. All right. All of these are just going to be platforms that bring this data or bring the data together, allow you to manage your analytics, and users then can consume that with the front end. Excel, we're going to leave out of that because it traps it inside of Excel. I can't do much more with it once it's there. There's some niche cases for that, but for the purpose of the video, we are going to focus in on SSAS, which is your classic SQL deployment. Deploying it to analysis services, which is your like Azure-based deployment, or deploying it straight into Fabric. All right. Now, Fabric is like the modern current platform. The big reason why the vast majority of companies and so many people are adopting Fabric and Power BI is because straight up, it is simple to use. It's really easy. It's cost effective to do it as well. So especially with Fabric, you only have to manage one block of compute for all of your data and analytics. So if you're using notebooks, or you're using warehouse, or you're using these models, you're all managing it in one budget, one platform, one place with one bill, in one vendor. It makes it really easy to like sort all this stuff out. It is super convenient. It's very inexpensive relative to a lot of different architectures. So it's a great path forward. It's also the current place where all development is happening, right? So code is developed in Fabric. It's released there potentially up to 3 times a week. We're seeing updates there. That you're not going to see that in the other platforms. So SSAS as well as analysis services are not getting the same level of updates as they once were. And a lot of features and functionality that exists inside of Power BI or inside of Fabric may never go to those other platforms. So if you want to stay current with all those things, you need to be in Fabric. I also know for a fact that you get better performance running on Fabric than you do in analysis services and or in SSAS. And a lot of that has to do with just because you're on the latest version of the model and the latest version of the code. But it is also just straight up faster. And I've taken the same model that I was running in SSAS. I deployed it to analysis services, saw a lift in performance. It was better. That was good. But I also took that then later on, took that exact same model and deployed it out into the Fabric service and saw an even bigger boost in performance. So there's a huge performance uptick there. The other big thing is your model management. Okay. Now, one of the biggest challenges with analysis services or in either analysis services or SSAS, like the on-prem version, is how many models can you possibly manage in memory? It is very difficult. Like whatever you have capacity-wise, that's really going to be the cap on the amount of models you can deploy out there. So if you have a 200 gig server that you're running, or a 200 gig analysis services service that you have out, the max amount of models, memory size you could deploy out there is that 200 gigs, right? So you can have 10, 20 gig files out there, and then that's it. Then you have to deploy another server, you have to stand up infrastructure, you have to have another service out there, and those are very expensive to do for each of those models. Conversely, inside of Fabric, it's got this amazing ability to hot swap stuff in and out of memory. And so each of your models becomes the cap on the size of it, becomes the maximum memory that's available for that service. Okay. Really, the limiting factor gets the number of processors you have. No longer take, to just load the information versus the amount of, memory that you have. So if you get a 200 gig capacity in Fabric, you can load 200 gigs of data into kind of as many models as you want, as you're able to actually have processors loading data, and users are allowed to interact with it, right? Like that's your cap. It's much better. Okay. That means your scale capabilities across models and resources becomes infinitely more flexible, and you still have some really good capabilities for scaling up your compute options, scaling out your compute options. That's fabulous. And then the last but not least, the big one there is Direct Lake. That ability that's coming out where we're just suddenly not going to have to worry about model memory anymore, all right? Because it's just going to be hitting, your models are just going to be hitting that Direct Lake files directly, directly. But it's a great path forward. Okay. Now, why not? Well, I'm just going to like straight up that 400 gig cap is a lot, but there's also lower level gig. If you get an F64, your memory, in memory model is capped at 25 gigs, and F128 is 50, and F256 is 100, and F512 is 100, and then F124 is that 400 gigs. Okay, so and those are very expensive, demarcation. So you kind of hit those caps at each of those levels. If you're one of the organizations that are out there and you might know who I'm talking to, and there might be more that are growing to that point where like you have more memory, you have more data than this 400 gigs in memory in your model to get the performance necessary for your organization for the analytics you're doing, and that's okay. In Fabric, that's incredible, or that's impossible to go above that 400 gigs. You hit a wall. You can't go beyond that. Okay, it's not going to be for like 99.999% of organizations out there aren't worried about that, but for that small percentage, like this is a deal breaker for them. Like they just can't. So that's something to be concerned about. I think their strategy is go to One Lake or Direct Lake on there, but that's a big issue. Another item is logging in Fabric is less than ideal. You could get Analysis Services has similar logging capabilities there, so those two are fairly comparable in size. But when you talk about logging to SQL Server Analysis Services, that is the bee's knees, because not only do you get the logging of the model, but you also get the logging of the Windows system. You get all sorts of logging that you can delve into, and you get lots of info that you can look into, be able to see what's going on in your services. Another big thing here starts to come into is the scale. I know we said before scale is a positive. It's also a negative because there's some things that you just can't do when it comes to scale options with the service that you can do with Analysis Services, and even more options and flexibility with the on-prem SSAS. Like you can have like 10 of them out there and have dynamic, logging and routing, and just do a whole bunch of stuff. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And then like the cost, the cost of those very, very large models, and these can be really daunting. That F124 that we were talking about, I think that's like $80,000 a month. That's a lot of money. Okay, so those are some like kind of like strong why nots, but most people aren't at that higher level. So like again, some of these knots don't apply to you. All right, let's talk about why would we go Analysis Services. Now, Analysis Services is a platform as a service, so you can just deploy out there. Microsoft's going to manage a lot of that stuff, very much like Fabric, which is a software as a service, so you don't you have to worry about even less in Fabric than you have to worry about in analysis services. Analysis services gives you better performance than SSAS, and it has some really good scale options. Okay, why not though? Well, you get into like kind of all of the issues that you have with Fabric exists in analysis services, but you start to get that it's legacy code, right? So code is being deployed to Fabric, it's not being deployed to analysis services. So you have to kind of wait. You don't have that dynamic memory management that we were talking about. So if you've got a cap on the number of models that you have, it's just a cap on the number of models, right? Like, you can only deploy so many out there, and it is kind of expensive to get that up and running. Okay, so some pros of analysis services, but lots of detractors on that one. Now, why would we go with SSAS, the old on-prem server? Well, frankly, that means there's no model cap on your models that you're loading into memory. So however much memory you have on the service, you can create models that are that big. I know I am running a terabyte of memory on my local desktop at this point in time. Memory is super cheap. It's not as expensive as it once was. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not running a terabyte. Whatever. It's super cheap. You could have a terabyte of memory in a server, and it's not the end of the world. It's not an impossible task. You could get that up. You might even have 2, 3, 4 terabytes of memory, right? And once you buy that server, you stand it up, you get the processors all optimized and whatnot. It can easily be a much lower cost in the long run to for that hardware than standing up and managing analysis services or Fabric for a long period of time, right? That $400,000 server that you buy, comparatively to like $80,000 a month, well, quickly, like 5-6 months in, it starts to pay dividends. Okay, and then you can also do all sorts of crazy scale options with that. So those are the real like big pros that I know of with SSAS. Now, not the like why not? Well, you are going to be running on some legacy code. Okay, so remember, code goes first to Fabric, so updates to the tabular engine first go to Fabric, then they go to analysis services, then they come to SSAS if they ever do. Okay, so that's a rough path. Okay, you have to manage that server yourself. That means all Windows patching, that means all SQL patching, all that stuff. You've got to go and do that. You're going to see a lower performance because you're not on the current version of the tabular engine. We get these big updates a couple a year that they just run faster all of a sudden, and you're not seeing that in the older versions of the software, and the on-prem just doesn't seem to do that. And that's why I like keep screaming out like, hey, this is legacy on it. Now, what do we recommend? What's our first and second choice when it comes to deployment? Probably no surprise. I say, hey, go Fabric. It's where all the code bases are going to be. Like, this is where you should be working. Analysis services, to me, is just like, it's kind of not an option right now unless you have to for you're not allowed to do Fabric for some reason, or you're not allowed to do a VM and SQL Server. You don't want to run that. And analysis services works great, but really, Fabric is the way to go for like 99.99% of the time. The only time where we really recommend anyone think about SSAS is when you need those very, very large models, and Fabric isn't going to do that. Otherwise, their ROI isn't there. Stick with Fabric versus the other models, okay? Where did I go? Oh my gosh, I just keep bouncing around. All right, well, thank you if you watched to the end. This video is at the request of a user. So if you have a question about a video you want to see done, leave it in the comments down below, or shoot me an email over to datagod@kratosbi.com. Happy to put these together, put some recommendations together for people. If you like this video, and I hope you did, if you're still watching at this point in time, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends and family. Heck, if you're still watching at this point in time, leave a comment down below about how much you like the movie Ghostbusters, okay? Because there's like no one that watches all the way to the end, and if you are, hey, big kudos to you. You guys are the best. Have the best day ever. Peace. Baker Tilly Digital combines strategic industry insight and advanced technical expertise to uncover and solve your digital transformation challenges. If you're interested in learning more, check out our website at bakertilly.com/digital.